Coffee Club, Coffee Club. Grind your beans and grab your favorite mug. It's Olli, Morgan, George, and Gus. It's them boys from Coffee Club. Boys from Coffee Club.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coffee Club podcast for episode 135. And we are back in the studio, and we are excited. I'm joined today by the regular crew, George and Olli. I'm feeling a bit left out. Now, this is one that you should probably be watching the YouTube version of, because there's a lot of pretty stuff to see today. And they are repping some absolutely sick Orange Runner Coffee Club Penn Relays shirts. Boys, how we doing?
Fantastic.
Lovely.
And so good to be back.
You got all this amazing stuff.
Yeah, we've got some things to get through.
We're well dressed and well caffeinated today, that's for sure.
Cleaned up this past weekend up over in Philly. Shall we just, today we have a lot to talk about. Penn Relays recap, and then also the Diamond League recap for myself, a little side quest to China. Before we get into it, we do have like a lot of awesome bean shout outs to get into. So George, do you want to kick us off?
I would love to kick us off. And this one is a very late one, and I apologize in advance. From Bella, thank you so much. The reason this is late is because when we got sent these, it must have been right after the last episode we did in the studio, and then this is literally the next episode. So I think it's been 3 or 4 weeks. So we apologize, Bella, but thank you so much for the beans. We have some beans from New York, 10,000 coffee, a Sydney roast or Sydney blend, which the boys haven't tried yet. I had a little taste of, but I saved them for the Sydney boys themselves, and some Baltimore beans from where Bella goes to school.
And special.
And custom roasted. It says Gus Coffee Club CEO, custom roasted for Gus. So
that's so good.
Gus hasn't tried them yet, but we'll get his insights on it. And then more recently, we did clean up in the bean department in Philly. Lovely contribution from the Flow Track podcast that Olli and I went on Friday. They really knew their stuff actually too. I feel like half the podcast was about coffee, and they knew that we liked preferably a single origin, like light to medium roast.
They did their research.
They were dialed in. So we have that. Radio Coffee and Beer. Wait, that is Radio Coffee RCB Roasters. Mozart's Coffee Roasters. And this one looks really good. This is born in Melbourne, made in Austin. Proud Mary.
Sign.
Like, that's a good looking bag.
Looks amazing.
That's the one I'm excited to try. So that's the Austin tour de beans of Austin.
So good. Thank you to Flow Track.
Yeah, no, they did us very
trying
well.
Trying to get in our good books, I think.
Yeah, it looked like it. Definitely looked like it. Getting 3 bags from one podcast, that's pretty special. I think they might have a crush on us.
Then we have some others as well.
We do. Once we were doing our special NIL, a lovely gentleman by the name of Michael came up and gave us a lovely bag of beans. These are whole bean coffee from, I haven't read it here, Philadelphia. Saxby's Coffee, roasted and distributed. And it doesn't have Make Life Go get an espresso. It doesn't show me, unless I'm blind, it does not show me what the roast is. But thank you so much, Michael. It's got a lovely little message on here that we'll all get to read. And then Paul, who was screaming at me for probably about an hour after the race, was trying to get me to run over to the stands to give me these 2 bags of beans. Him and his daughter ran with us with the group run last year. And he's edited this bag to say Coffee Club are legends, because it's a legend blend, dark roast. And then this is a Big Iron medium dark roast from Speakeasy Coffee Company, which I think is also Philadelphia. Both Philly coffees. So thank you so much, Paul. Thank you so much, Michael. It's always a treat when people come up with a bag of beans and share their little spiel about their favorite coffee. It's always very, very fun and very rewarding. The fun thing doing that too is when I see like teammates, like when we're doing this like with the signing, and there's a few teammates around with the OAC, And you can tell they're getting a little jealous that we're getting free coffee compared to the rest of the team. I mean,
I'd be jealous about that.
we've been very lucky and very spoiled by you guys, so thank you so much.
Yeah, and if you thought that was enough, well, boy, I got something else in store for you here. This is very special. This was delivered to us, so this was sent, so separate from the Penn Relays Madness. This comes from, I'm not sure if you guys would have seen it, but there's an Instagram page called Hot Boys Who Run. Or one word.
Wait, I get tagged.
I feel like we've been tagged in there a couple times.
They show us some love on the Instagram, and then now they also show us some absolute love in person. So I'll get this little. I got a bag of tricks from them, and
a bag of tricks.
It's amazing. First off, there is coffee. They're from. I think they're from.
Oh, yeah, those look legit.
Yeah, they're from Brooklyn, like Brooklyn coffee scene. So we got some. I guess you pronounce that pipe and table roasting. They sent a letter with it as well. It's from I think it's just like a local Brooklyn roaster. They look amazing. And then they also sent us a bunch of, they have like their merch. And so there's one
bracelets?
There's one for everyone.
Are they
Pass them around.
Hot Boys Who Run bracelets?
Yeah, they're
Stay hot?
bracelets and stickers that say Hot Boys Who Run and all this stuff. It's like little goodie bags. I'm so excited to
This is
wrap
so
this
funny.
hard.
I'll put this one on right now.
I-
Stay hot.
They're so good.
I
They're
do
so
feel
good.
weird about wearing a Hot Boys Who Run.
Nah,
bracelet,
just own it, man. Just own it.
It makes me feel like I'm telling everyone that I'm hot.
Why would you not tell people that?
Well, there's a little indentation in my skull of feeling like it's a bit arrogant, but I love it.
So good.
Hot Boys Who Run,
So
stay
good.
hot.
These is just so pretty. I don't know if they actually sell these or not. We'll have to double check that. But if I was out there, if I was a consumer, I'd want to buy this. So if
Yeah,
they-
no, I would too. I just
as a present, this is like an amazing gift.
these are the stickers are unreal.
Little goodie bag.
Wow. Well, their merch is like
That is a lot of fun.
pretty amazing. Hot and fast. Dude, these would be great for my Morton bottles. You know when you got to sticker your bottles so you know which one's which?
Mm-hmm.
These stickers would be fantastic for it.
They also said next time that we're in town, that town being New York, I believe they'd like to take us on a little tour of Brooklyn.
That would be
Have you
amazing.
met?
No. But I just know that they're Brooklyn runner scene.
Are they anonymous?
Anonymous, yeah,
So we
yeah.
don't know who they are.
They don't know who they are. And
Like
then,
no context, technically.
yeah.
Right.
So this is amazing. Thank you so much. And then
That is so
Thank you
good.
very
the
much.
final gift that they sent,
There's more?
this is amazing. Check this out.
What the hell?
The fuck is that?
For those that are listening,
Oh my goodness.
for those that are listening, this is a beautifully framed poster. It's a portrait of Gus
As a general.
as a general in his commander costume. So I don't know where we're gonna put this.
I mean, it's gonna have to go on that. Yeah, right there. Can they see it on the camera?
Yeah,
That kind of looks like, I don't want to make it sound morbid, but that looks like Gus has died, and it's like a
Oh, don't do that to
like
me.
This is gonna be with Ollie his whole life. Once Gus
Yeah.
has died.
When Gus
This is gonna
passes
be
away,
perfect.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be.
he will be remembered forever. That's for sure.
So this is we're just absolutely spoiled here. So
You know, he'll just like be on the wall, but like in memory.
in memory,
That's so funny.
this
That's
is
the most
amazing.
ridiculous frame I've ever seen.
It's perfect. Isn't it perfect for the picture as well?
It
just suits
matches
it.
the picture very well.
So well. So huge thank you to Hot Boys Who Run. Everyone go follow them on Instagram.
Well, I'm gonna have to follow.
I
them
just
back
followed them
now.
today.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to follow them back.
Yeah,
That was that's probably one of the best gifts we've ever gotten.
absolutely amazing.
Particularly that portrait. That's just hilarious.
So yeah. So
The bar has been set quite high
That's
for
very
packages
high.
these days.
Also,
The Providence girls set the bar pretty high,
hmm
and now they're just like, everyone's just trying to outdo each other. It's
I wonder
great.
if we'll ever meet Hot Boys Who Run like them.
well, I think we owe them a Gus plushie as well.
Yeah.
we need to send it out to them. So we'll try to arrange that. We still
Mm.
owe the Providence ladies a Gus plushie as well.
Haven't forgotten.
We should have brought one to Penn.
We
That would've
should
been that would have been the easy way to do it because we're just so bad at going to the post office. Apparently, it's really hard. It's really
Well,
far
I
away.
actually I live really close to the post office, so I can do drop offs.
We'll set it up.
Yeah.
We'll set it up. I think we okay, we got to take care of that. But yeah, thank you once again to everyone giving us all these amazing gifts that we treasure and enjoy so much. So feeling very spoiled over here. But without further ado, I think it's time to get into the episode, some running talk. So I did a little intro at the start of last episode, which shout out to George for conducting an amazing interview with the Flag Boys. Little spin-off series coming soon. Flag Pod. I think a lot of people really enjoyed hearing
this is
from
the Coffee Club EU, what's it called? Expanded Universe.
Yeah.
What did we call it? The CC.
We had some name for it at some point.
I thought it was the CCEU.
Or was it just the
Expanded
CCU?
Universe?
Maybe it was just the CCU, Coffee Club Universe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
There was something good. If anyone remembers that,
Yeah.
they should remind us.
That
That was a good one.
Wouldn't that be perfect if like we had a Flagstaff episode and then like a Boulder episode that were like alongside each other and they were like rivals and friends and all that.
But
good
we
stuff.
own both of them.
But we're pulling the strings on top,
Yeah.
setting up these massive rivalries.
Well,
That's how it
the
goes
guy
down.
in that portrait's to actually pulling the strings for
Yeah.
everything.
We know who's really pulling the strings. Let's not kid ourselves on that matter. But yeah, amazing episode. And I mentioned at the start that I had a change of plans. That's why I wasn't back in America with the boys and able to film. So pretty much what happened with me is I got back from Aussie Nationals to Australia and I was meant to fly back to the States a few days later. And I get the text from Dathan being like, hey, do you want to race in China? What do you think about that next week? And at the time I was really like out of it kind of because I thought I was like taking a break and stuff because Nationals had kind of signified like the end of my winter racing block, kind of like the end of that. So I wasn't thinking about these races, but then after I did start thinking about it, I'm like, wow, makes so much sense. Going to China from Australia, a bit easier. Still a long flight, still 11-hour flight sitting into Shanghai, but only a 2-hour time difference. And then also just an opportunity to get in a Diamond League 5K, which for me is like not especially like going into the Olympics, not the easiest thing. It's not like I can just like get into every race. And then like these races, because they're in China, like a slightly weaker fields and stuff, and it's so early in the year. So it made a lot of sense to try to take advantage of it for a ranking standpoint and just to get another good race experience in.
So that feel like an easy decision in the end?
Yeah. By the time, what was a bit confusing, I guess, is I didn't know if I wanted to race the first one or the second one or both of them. I knew that I didn't want to race. So for people at home that don't know, it is kind of crazy they did this, but they had back-to-back meets in China. And both of them had men's 5Ks. It was pretty much identical meets because their idea was that they could get really good people over to race both of them. That's like how they could sell it. And
it makes sense in a lot of ways
Yeah.
because the travel is super long and like if you're going to make the effort to get all the way there, you may as well keep people there for the week.
And for sprinters and field events, it makes more sense as well.
It's no big deal to do 2 competitions in a week.
But
2 5Ks in a week though.
And also the thing with the Diamond League 5K is it's not that they're a little bit rare. Like they're not rare, but there's not like a ton of it's not that many 5Ks.
No, there's
So
only a few in the year.
if you knock 2 of them out in China at this beginning, it's a little bit weird. So it is what it is though. And
There'll be people like come September with points for the Diamond League final that like got points back in April, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's how it goes. So that was what was going down. I decided just to like do the second one because then I had a bit more time in Australia to prepare because I was actually pretty tired after Nationals, I think, coming off it. Even though it was only like a 13:40 race, my body was a bit tired and also mentally there was a bit of a come down as well. I'm sure you experienced that as well.
Yeah.
Olli. So it was like, it made more sense I was like, if I'm going to do one, try to make the most of it, like put myself in the best chance possible. And then also I ended up getting kind of lucky because I didn't really know this, but the second one ended up being like much better conditions. The first one was quite hot and humid, apparently. Unfortunately, Sam Parsons ended up in hospital after it with some heat stroke. So luckily I didn't have to deal with that. The second one was in a small Chinese town called, I'm going to butcher the name, Suzhou.
I thought you were going to say, I thought that was like a joke leading into Shanghai, a small Chinese town with 25 million people.
Well, it is kind of
Wait,
a
was
joke.
it actually not in Shanghai? I thought it was.
No, well, it's kind of a joke because Suzhou is a town that you might have never heard of, and it's 10 million people.
Seriously?
And it's next to Shanghai.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, I hadn't heard of it either. And I was really confused because it said like Shanghai / Suzhou Diamond League. And I think they just say that because sometimes it's in Shanghai. And so they're kind of like combined. And also the cities are next to each other. Like when you drive, dude, I just got to like, okay. So in the past, I've come on this show and I've slandered cities. I've gone hard on them. China, yeah, I fucking loved it there.
Yeah. How were you a few days? Did you get there? You got there in time to work out. So you must have had 3 or 4 days, right?
I got there Tuesday before a Saturday race. And I don't know, what do you guys think of when you think of China? What would you expect going there?
I mean,
I have been to Shanghai.
I haven't been to China, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'd say like overpopulation is like a big thing, and then the smog
Lots
thing.
of people, yeah.
Like so, like very dense, urbanized place. I guess is what I would think. But you've been, so you probably.
No, I feel like the same, like densely populated, like a million high rises, just a big concrete jungle with like a lot of people.
Yeah, which is exactly what it is. But also there's a ton of green.
Yeah.
It's very green, which was cool. And we were staying next to, like, there's a lot of water around where we were staying. And the city that we were in was very, very modern and way more Western than I thought it was going to be. There was every like fast food you could think of was like around us. There was like Starbucks, Pete's Coffee. What's the other coffee chain that's in Europe? Like Costa. Europeans will know which one I'm talking about. There's a Taco Bell there. Like it's just like, I don't know. I had this idea that like China wasn't really like letting all this American
Like
stuff
Western.
exist there. Dude, there was Teslas there. And I was shocked by that because I was just thinking China wants to be, the world leader in electric vehicles. I'm thinking like, they would say, fuck you to Tesla. But no, there's Teslas is everything. And people there were super friendly, super nice. The one thing or the two things I would say that are kind of make it so that you wouldn't want to be there for too long is the smog. That's definitely a thing there. It's pretty polluted. And then it's really developed. So it's like, super, like everything's like perfectly planned out, really good urban planning. But what that means is they don't believe in like soft surface. So if you're trying to run, it's like everything is just concrete. So that gets a little bit old. But yeah, they look after you so well at a Diamond League like that. So like the hotel
How's the
was
food?
awesome. Dude, amazing. I mean, people that were there for a long time were really sick of it by the end. But I had a streak going of dumplings every meal, and I was just so happy because they had like 3 dumpling things that would rotate out, or they'd sometimes put in like rice cakes and stuff. And I was just in heaven eating that every meal. I like the way they eat there a lot. It's different. They're much more like for breakfast. They're much more prone to like hot and salty stuff. Like they have all the options there. It's a hotel. But one thing that I thought that was funny is they had kind of like a noodle bar type thing, like where there's a chef there making you fresh noodles and you put all the toppings in it, but it was only there for breakfast. So if you wanted, you had to get a breakfast.
Noodle breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. I did it one time because I was like, well, I gotta
When in
take
When
it.
in Rome.
Yeah, I gotta take it.
Well, what about, did you turn the TV on in the hotel and just watch Chinese TV? I would be curious to see what it's like.
I should have done that, which I didn't. I didn't even turn the TV on once. But
what can you not go on?
so
YouTube?
This is the crazy thing. I thought everything was being blocked, but for everyone in the hotel, they unblocked everything for
What?
us. Yeah. So like so everything was
Just on this Wi-Fi network,
Yeah,
or like how
yeah.
do they even?
on the
How
Wi-Fi.
do they get
Whoa.
permission to do that?
I have this. I don't know if this is true, but I feel like they really want people visiting the country to have an amazing time. They want exactly what's happening right now. Like they want everyone to go home to their podcasts,
And tell the
And
world
tell
that
everyone
China's the best.
how good China is.
Mm.
Because I think the first thing a lot of people would say is, I couldn't go on like any of my social media.
Well, I was
But
wondering with
They
tourism, like,
unblocked it.
because China has a Great Wall of China, but it has a lot of history and heritage there. Like, it's one of those destinations you'd think would have high tourism rates. But I wonder if maybe there is a thing like the past few years, particularly with COVID, it's been affected by tourism, like a lot of other countries in the
100%.
world, where it's just like not many people are traveling there anymore, and they're just trying to boost it up by saying, hey, you can listen to the Coffee Club podcast on YouTube in
Yeah.
China. So might as
I
well.
wonder
come
what
over.
our China numbers are like.
Yeah, probably
non-existent. 'cause
Probably not
YouTube is
great.
banned, isn't it?
based on how many fans I saw, they're not great. So 0. But it is weird. So all that stuff is normally blocked. Like Google, I think, is even blocked.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like normally. So they got their own version of everything.
What about Reddit? Is Reddit blocked? Discord. What about the Discord? Good question about the Discord.
I think Discord might not be. I have no idea. I think no, it probably is. I think they block anything that's like American social media, comes from America.
Except for
TikTok.
TikTok.
So
TikTok's not
TikTok.
blocked. Yeah. So I should have downloaded that. I would have been able to use it.
Is
They're
it
crazy.
blocked? Is it blocked in America? It's blocked in a
No.
state, isn't it? Or
I think they have some rules sometimes because they don't want like
I
government
think they're just
officials
trying to block
on
it or
TikTok.
something.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy because
'Cause
now we're getting into politics.
yeah, we're getting into the spy James Bond style stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's interesting.
Yeah, and the track was sick. Is they're just so, I don't know, they just develop stuff. It's so modern. I was next to a construction site and there's like over 100 people working on it, and they're working on it. I guess they have shifts, they're working on it at 10 p.m. at night. Like when I go to bed, the site is fully active. Forklifts, cranes going, everything. I wake up at 5
No
in
time
the
to
morning,
waste.
like still working on it. They're just amazing. So they've built these amazing facilities, like amazing track, warm-up track. All this was so good. And it was like a massive Olympic sports complex. So they had like the swimming, all the indoor stuff, all that. So I had no complaints in terms of any of that stuff. And
Is it Shanghai that got Worlds or Beijing?
I think it's
Beijing, right?
Beijing.
27.
Because that's where the Olympic facility
Oh
is.
yeah,
for
yeah, that's right.
2008.
It is Beijing.
Yeah, which I'm sure that's similar. Pretty cool city as well. So
The Bird's Nest is a very cool stadium.
oh yeah, forgot about that. That'll be epic.
Mm.
Hopefully we're there. But yeah, so going into the race, the only thing was like there was a bit of chatter about the pacing because Borrego was there, and I think his agent wanted a quick race. There's a funny conversation with him and Sam Parsons in the elevator like the day before the race.
Sam and Borrego?
Yeah, because you know how Sam just like he just talks to
Yeah.
everyone, and he was talking about the pace. He asked him like, "Oh, you want really quick pace, right? You want 7:42? So is that what you want? You asking for 7:42?" And Borrego was like, "No, not 7:42, not 7:42, just 61s, just 61s." And then Sam's like, "Yeah, so 7:42, right?" He's like, "No, just 61s. It's fine, not that fast." So anyway, the pace that they asked for was 61s. And so you saw this happen last year a few times when the pace is that hot, it became clear that I wasn't going to go with the pace and that the race was going to split up into 2 races. And I was okay with that. I mean, obviously I would have preferred like 13:05 pace or something like that. But I mean, he's the champion, you know. He can ask for whatever pace he wants. And so going into the race, everything was feeling good. I was excited, ready to go. Racing a lot of familiar faces. The Aussie boys, Sam Parsons, Mike Foppen.
Aussie boys, Sam Parsons.
I was listing all the different people.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Sam changed allegiance to Australia.
Not yet.
Not
Maybe
yet.
next.
No, I was thinking that maybe that's coming. We don't know.
Yeah, sorry. Aussie boys, Sam Parsons, Mike Foppen,
Mike
my roommate Kieran from Bowman. Oh, dude, I got some Bowman dirt. Nah, just kidding. Just kidding.
Kieran let it all out when he was in China. He thought he'd stay in China.
I wish. I didn't know what to ask.
We did see Jerry though at Penn. We'll get to that later.
He was at Penn? Oh, I guess.
Yeah, he
Oregon.
was.
I forget that he coaches Oregon.
Yeah, he coaches. He's the Oregon coach.
It's always. I assume Kieran / no one at Bowman listens to this podcast, but it's always fun because I don't think I'd ever properly met Kieran before. So it's always, I'm sure you guys have had like somewhat similar things occur where you know that all the people in Bowman probably, they don't hate you, but like they
resent.
They know like they've definitely been on a lot of runs where they've been like, these fuckers like said this or like and then you're rooming with them and then you're like super nice to them and you're like, what does this person really think about me? What's going on here? But yeah, he was awesome. Great roommate. But yeah, going into the race, I think like all of us kind of knew like, yeah, we'll just
do our own thing.
We'll have our pack and we'll run as quick as we can. And I was ready for that. And then get in the race. And we actually got going. I've had many reports that it was the most unwatchable 5K ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was shocking.
Because it was a good time, right?
It was
8:30 in the morning.
8:30 in Eastern. I set my alarm for 8:30. Well, we were like shaking out by 9. So it was like actually quite a good timing. I was like, all right, I'll just get up and like watch it while I freaking get ready.
Do my exercises.
Yeah, exactly. Turned it on. Morg's right on line. It's perfect timing. Race starts. Didn't see Morgan again.
13
Immediately,
minutes and 20 seconds later.
Saw Callum Davies for a little bit.
Yeah.
Running some 61s up front. And who was the other pacer?
It was a French guy.
One of those like Diamond Leagues freaking regulars.
Yep.
Who does the pacemaking.
Yep.
And then it was just Borrego and a couple of mates. Of mates of Borrego, some 17-year-old dude.
Oh,
who
yeah.
His 5K PR was like, it was the junior guy. He had run 5K at altitude or something. It was like 14 something. Yeah. And then he ran like 12:50.
Yeah,
something.
he came second. Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then they didn't once pan to the rest of the race.
Yeah.
Even after the race had finished, they just filmed Borrego standing around.
Mm-hmm. And there were no splits apparently either. The splits like weren't working.
No splits.
So very unwatchable, unfortunately. But So I guess you guys didn't get to see that. So I can tell you everything that happened from my perspective.
And no lying.
No, yeah, this is all true. There is a second pack, and we went out initially because they had lights for 13:05 pace as well, and we were not that far off them for like the first K, but then like they started slipping away, and I don't know, it was like, I think it was a good night to run fast, but it's still not the best night. So they started slipping away, and then it was like we're just going on soloing like 13:05 is very, very, very hard to do. So it's like I don't think anyone was quite up to that task in our pack. So it became more of like a tactical race in the pack, I guess. Jack Rayner was doing all the leading like the first 3K, which a lot of respect for him. But by 3K, it slowed down quite a bit, and we hit 3K around 8 minutes. So not crazy. I was feeling pretty decent at that point, and that's when I actually went to the front and started working it a little bit because I don't know, I just felt good, felt all right, and I kind of kept that spot at the front of the second pack for essentially the rest of the race. Mike Foppen made a pretty big move around me on the second to last lap and gapped me a bit, and then caught a few people, like some of the people from the front pack that went out with Borrego were dying. So we caught a couple of bodies along the way and a couple more in the last lap. But then, was able to kick down solid and ended up running about 13:18 and came 7th. Borrego won in, I believe, 12:55, so he was pretty far ahead. 17-year-old was second, also under 13. But yeah, I mean, for me, coming 7th, and I guess I ended up like second out of that pack, like on the day, considering the race, I was happy with that. I think there's always a little bit of like, oh man, I wish like I could have run quicker when you run like 13:18. But it's honestly, considering everything, I was like, yeah, pretty happy with that. Another good race experience, just clicking along, and I'll get probably good points and stuff from that as well. So yeah, I was pretty happy. I was pretty tired after it as well. It was definitely like a solid effort in the end. I don't know what we closed or anything like that though. No idea on the splits. But yeah, it was cool. I really enjoyed the race. The crowd was like going pretty crazy. I think, were they showing, was it pole vault happening while we were racing or something?
I think Mondo was going for the world record during the 5K.
Yeah, I think like because there was a lot of crowd noise during that time. So I think there was exciting stuff happening in the field events at the same time. So yeah, honestly, a solid race. Still, in terms of like where I'm at with everything, my body feels good. I feel like I just got to keep clicking along, just keep consistent training and racing all these 5Ks, because I guess I've already raced 3 5Ks this year, has made me realize how little I've raced in the last period of like, I don't know, 3 years or whatever it is. And I feel like I get a lot out of each one right now. So it's good to just keep ticking them off and just keep moving forward in different ways. So from that perspective as well, I was very happy with just another good experience. A Diamond League race,
I feel bad saying that it was such a bad watching experience, because I don't want people to then go, oh, next Diamond League 5K, not going to watch that, because those guys said it, they're really boring.
Yeah.
But there should be like, though I can't remember that many from last year, but easily the best 5K to watch last year, apart from Worlds, was the Florence 5K, which was by far the slowest paced 5K of the whole year. Like in the 750s, which is for all these guys running 1250 something, is like a jog basically. Like over 10, maybe no, the 12 people like at the bell. It was like the only good watching experience. Like there needs to be some, like why does Borrega's agent have enough power to decide how fast they should run?
Yeah,
that's just
how they do it. Yeah,
the meet just needs to like we're trying to produce a product that is good for entertainment, so they should make the race that way, which 100%. Is not by making it a one-person race within the first 2 minutes. No one wants to watch that. Like these meet directors should be like telling, like, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to make it entertaining.
Yeah,
we don't give a shit how fast you want to run. You want to go run a world record? Go to some meet no one cares about.
Yeah, don't
come to the best meet in the world.
The sad thing is that if that race had been paced at 13:05, he still would have run 12:55 probably. He would have closed really hard, and then it would have been much more of a race. Like there would have been all the bodies together, so it would have been way better.
Instead, they ran a bunch of 61s, and then they ran like,
I think it was a 65.
It was a 65.
Yeah.
After 3K, because I don't know, they were so far ahead. Like, who really gives a shit at that point? Like,
yeah, I think with Diamond Leagues, the meet directors don't care about what we call good racing. they want just as many. They want to have like the world lead set in each race. They want like the meet record
They
set.
also want the names in it. Like if Borrega's agent gets told to fuck off, then he's like, well, I'm not sending Borrega back to this meet. And particularly with the 2 Chinese meets, they desperately need people to get into those meets. But I do agree, George. I think particularly with like pre-mile, for example, we've had this discussion. I don't think pre-mile should be paced. The amount of talent in that field, just let them race. Just let us race and see who comes out on top. Like that's what people want to see. But like, I think they're going for the world record in the in the mile. Well, I've heard
that's crazy
that Jakob's going for like a very quick time, but it doesn't like for me. You look at it and think, well,
don't lose hope on that one.
I'm not losing hope, but I'm just saying there's like that
there's word on the street that the pre-mile has some potential to be something entertaining.
You say You're saying not potential to be entertaining. You're saying potential to not be paced. Then
exactly, but I'm saying potential. No one gets.
I think the pre-mile in the past has not been paced. Is that correct, or am I just making?
I'm
that
not
up?
sure, honestly.
Not in my memory, but like, if they run the world lead, who does the meet director then go and like brag about that too?
The other meet directors.
We got the world lead at our meet. Like, what do they get out of that?
Maybe not the world lead specifically, but like.
No, I think you're right though. They do, and they do want the world record.
They want world records, national records.
Who do they go tell that happened?
The meet directors, World Athletics. It just looks good on their resume. That like we've had a meet where we've had these athletes set world leads. These athletes set world records.
I guess that the athletes.
Why don't we talk about like
your resume,
tickets sold, or the number of people watching, or like. We need a different. We need a new measure of success. I mean, obviously, like we could talk about the same shit over and over again, but we need a new measure of success.
Well,
I'm sure
all the meet directors that have been listening to you, George, will be like, you know what, he's right. Let's change it.
Yeah, dude, I'm getting so jealous at all these other leagues. Sorry to that's happening right now. I'm like, why are we not getting this backing? You know, why is Michael Johnson getting 30 mil? Why is the co-founder of Reddit sponsoring me? Come to us.
I have to admit though, 30 million to Michael Johnson, like amazing athlete, right? Amazing, got great opinions. Why would you give 30 million to a guy who's never run a meet before in his life? Like, no offense to Michael Johnson, but like, there's other people that have run meets successfully.
I assume he's got some other people helping him out.
Hey, we haven't technically run a meet either, so.
But that's what I'm. My point is though, it's not that easy to run meets. It's not. We do give a certain individual and a certain meet a bit of slack, but they do sometimes pull it off, and it is very hard to run meets. We know that, but it's interesting that they've given all this money. Hopefully, that Michael has gotten like good people to organize these meets and like make it function properly. Because you could also just get you got $30 million. You could just throw it down the drain. It could just be a waste of money. I mean, we've seen in the sport how money can be wasted. We've seen firsthand how money is wasted in this sport, whether it's marketing, whether it's just setting up this big meets like the meet in Australia, Morgs, the Nitro meet. Like that meet, like that was $1 million to take Usain Bolt there, and it was supposed to be the big revamp of like athletics, and it died. It just they just didn't hit the mark. Like it is very tough, but like I think, George, you've got a point. The meet directors could make these meets so much more entertaining and also profitable, having that kind of excitement, because that whole Florence meet was crazy. Every race in that meet was like pretty cool.
Yeah.
There was a world record though in the women's 15.
The thing is, I don't know, that Florence meet was amazing. But I think some of the 5Ks that were fast were also really exciting when there was like 3 guys running.
When there's people running for it.
When there was like 3 guys trying to run that all could run it. Like that was exciting as well.
Monaco was actually a decent race at the front.
If it's just chapter guy like going for the world
even
record,
Oslo, like even those.
It was only 2 guys, but they went to the line at least.
The 1500 was exciting. Like you had 9 guys running sub 330. We were all there.
Yeah.
Like
the 1500. That 1500 is not the problem.
Yeah, 1500 is great, but we'll talk probably more about the Michael Johnson and all these other meets at a different episode.
It's interesting to see how that develops with like who he puts in charge.
Well, I don't understand. I haven't seen any information about.
I've just seen that he's got $30 million.
Like
that's all I've seen.
That what the idea is.
What if he calls it the Michael
pitch?
Johnson League and it's the exact same league as yours? And he's been listening and he's like, I'm going to take Morgan McDonald's idea and I'm going to make it successful.
I'd be happy. Actually, there's no way he would though, because my meet is just a distance runner only.
That
thing.
is true.
He's definitely.
He likes distance,
sprinters.
but he's much more sprinter based, which is obviously fair.
Yeah. So that was another exciting 5K, Diamond League 5K, and a decent race for me. Happy to be chugging along, happy to be healthy and consistently doing it. It's fun. It's really fun. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, that was China. Didn't get much sleep. Traveled back to the U.S. Dude, it's just stuffed at the back of the plane with hundreds of people. It's
Wait,
awesome.
so you didn't get upgraded? Oh, you got upgraded on the way there.
On the way there, I did, but then I think the Shanghai to San Francisco flight is pretty hard to get upgraded on. I think it's a big
Common business route.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. It was fun. I made it back here. I've been back here for a couple of days now, getting through. I fell asleep yesterday when I was trying to watch the Fallout TV show.
Apparently, it's amazing.
Yeah, so I was a bit jet lagged, but getting back into it. I have a nice, easy week of training, so all is good. So yeah, should we hop into some Penn Relays madness?
Penn Relays, best meet of the year.
Is this the third time? Yeah.
This is the third time on sponsored one of the days for the meet, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because apparently
Good, yeah.
there's
Penn
3
Relays.
days. So one day
Third day's
sponsored by
charm.
Chick-fil-A, Friday sponsored by On, and then Saturday sponsored by Toyota.
Wait, is it
Some-
actually Chick-fil-A?
Rit said, or someone was saying the line for free Chick-fil-A was like
Oh yeah, it is.
wrapped
I've seen that
around the
before.
stadium or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I've seen
Both
that
of
to me before.
A Chick-fil-A sandwich is like $4.
Yeah.
I guess
Amazing.
if they're giving out, I mean, people love free Chick-fil-A apparently.
Yeah.
Especially high schoolers.
But this is the thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if there'd be a line for On shoes if they were free like that.
Oh, it'd be the longest line ever.
Yeah.
People
You get,
love
like, if
free
you get the
stuff.
value of it, it's like I'm getting a really expensive pair of shoes. Oh, I'm on a line.
Oh,
wait.
we had a line like that for free stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be
That was
amazing.
I felt like some of the people in our line were just like had heard that there was a free T-shirt or something.
And they're like,
I was
"Yeah,
that was
I'm
our
signed."
main sell.
And you have to sign a contract?
That
Yeah,
was-
give me the contract. I'll get a free shirt.
People were probably signing their lives away for a free Chick-fil-A sandwich.
100%. 100%.
Retweet.
So we'll go through it. These boys were out there on this track on Saturday, but before that on Friday, and I was really sad that I wasn't there because, we've been planning, doing a couple of cool things for Penn Relays as Coffee Club does. Last year we had awesome interview with Devin Allen. The year before that we had a cool interview on the actual Franklin field with Olin. So Olin has been really good to us, setting us up to do cool stuff. And this year we wanted to do a little bit more. We stepped away from doing like a live podcast type thing, and we wanted to have it being more of an event. And the goal was to set the world record, or the world best, for the most NIL deals in history in one day. And the idea behind this was just every time that Citrus Mag and a certain company they have like these
Blows
certain
up our
days,
feed.
they blow up the feed with NIL deals, and it's so annoying to see it, and it's just over the top. And I mean, we know they just do it because like they just get paid to do it. It's business. It is what it is. But we were like, why don't we take this and see how far we can push it? So we made the goal of signing as many NIL deals as we could possible. And I don't have the number exactly, but
That's what I was just wondering.
Was it like 100?
You can
It had
you
to
can
be-
calculate the number from the here.
What, are you going to count every single Instagram post?
No, but you can
be here a while.
subtract it.
But yeah,
Either just over 100 or just under 100.
around 100, because we had 100 shirts to give away, I think.
And
About
maybe,
100.
and I'm wearing one, so I guess that doesn't count. And Ollie's wearing
No,
one.
but I think there was some extras as well.
Maybe if they were extras.
Something like that. Well, no, yeah, actually, you can go on our Instagram and look. I think they all are there. But anyway, it was just a cool excuse to do a meet and greet, pretty much. And like we had an RSVP list, people signed up, so like kind of get it locked in and get to give away a free cool shirt, which we were really excited to make with the Orange Runner. Him and Tom Lang were at work with that and just doing something cool. So just a really fun way to connect with the fans overall. I mean, from your guys' perspective, was that what it was essentially? I heard you guys were just swamped.
I think that was, and actually that's what I think was kind of one of the bonuses of not doing a live podcast and just having a hangout instead, is that it gave more FaceTime with the fans, which is a cool thing to do at a meet like Penn, where we were on our feet for probably 3 or 4 hours just in the sun on Friday, which we're probably not going to do before a bigger race or a more important meet of the year. But before Penn Relays,
I got so burnt.
Ollie
Really?
Ollie was getting fried out there.
I was so burnt and I was tired. I was like, this is not good before my mile. And I was like worried about George too, because we were both like, because most of the like our other OAC teammates had like done their thing there and then they just left. And then me and George were like, we can't leave the line still going. Like we want to obviously interact with our fans. They've like made this effort to wait in line. But we were both like Yeah, this is
No, it was too good an opportunity.
yeah, you can't miss out on that opportunity. But it was funny because we're both thinking like this is probably not a good pre-race method to run well if you're
just get dehydrated in the sun.
yeah,
Not a problem at Penn.
no,
So that was very cool. But like I was saying, there were people. I mean, shit, I was so impressed with how long people lined up for, because there was a bit of a process to like kind of sign in, not just the signing thing, but sign in with Tom Wang to get details and stuff. So it did take a little bit of time, and then photos, etc. So the line was quite long, and I was like convinced, like there was so many people. I was like, some of these people surely are just lining up because they think there's something like
there must be something cool.
Yeah, there must be something cool at the end of this line without even knowing what it actually was. But yeah, the whole coffee club team put in an absolute
shift.
It was incredible. Shout out to, I mean, George and I didn't do much. It was mostly Tom Wang.
Me and Olli were doing the least by far.
I do have a list of thank yous.
We should
through it.
Yeah, go through it.
Obviously Tom Wang for it. He did so much in terms of organizing this. Big thank you to the Orange Runner. He came down and helped with the setup. And
they're in person in his bright orange t-shirt. So
it's clearly identifiable.
Yeah.
He's an awesome guy. He did the artwork for this, and we've been using the artwork for some. I mean, he did like for a bunch of stuff now. We just really love it. It's our intro and all that. So good.
Frojo was a big one.
Frojo Baggins, our super fan from Philly. He helped.
He was handing out every single t-shirt, getting the sizes right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He was putting in a shift.
We got to send him some merch. Cordell, did you guys get to meet Cordell?
Photographer.
I've never met him before, but I've heard about him a lot because he went to Iona when Colin, my friend, was there. So
he was grinding.
Yeah, he was grinding. I don't think you could talk to him because he was that busy taking photos of everyone.
Yeah, check him out on Instagram at Dells POV, DELLS POV. Tyson was out there going to work as well.
Tyson Meehy was putting in more work for us than the on booth. Thank you, Tyson.
He's grinding.
His loyalty has not changed. His He's still loyal to us, so that's good to know.
I mean, he's an OG Coffee Club TC, like episode in the teens, maybe.
I think probably even before
maybe
the teens.
Was it single digits?
I think it might have been single.
Top
early
I know
days.
him and Joe Hardy have like an early days pod, and then
he came on with Cullen as well.
As well, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so thank you.
He's seen the Coffee Club come a long way.
Yeah,
from humble beginnings.
we haven't even. Do people know that he works for OAC now?
We haven't seen anything. I don't think there's been a formal announcement.
Oh, let's just protect. We didn't. Yeah, no, just forget we said that. We'll let the brand take care of that. Army came and they delivered sandwiches, which is absolutely amazing. We got
a. What was that place called? Prime subs or something.
Were they yummy?
They were good. It was very like
Prime
East
hoagies.
Coast.
Prime hoagies.
Yeah, it was very East Coast sandwich. It was very nice.
Yum yum yum.
Yeah, it was really good.
Shout out to our lords at On, Izzy, Steve, and Andy for letting us do something ridiculous like this.
Yeah, thank you,
in the
lords.
first place.
Thank you, my lords.
We love that you guys let us do cool stuff like this, and then just everyone else that was out there supporting, etc. That's all. Thank you.
Tom did say that some people had left the line because it was too long and they couldn't be bothered to wait. So we were overly successful, I think, in some ways.
Yeah,
which
I feel bad for them, but that's a good sign.
That's a good sign for us. Unfortunately, those people missed out. But I counted the posts.
Yeah, what was
I
it?
might be incorrect, but it says 83 at the moment.
83, good numbers. I mean, and we broke the world record, right?
Yes, we got handed.
We have an official certificate.
Yeah, a big mastiff came in with glasses and said, "Are you Gus's owner?" And I said yes, and they handed over the Gus World Records.
Official Gus World Record.
Official Gus World Records.
Most NIL signed in one day.
Achieved in Pennsylvania, USA on 26th of April.
Let's go.
So,
and everybody
good luck, Citrus.
Signed the NIL, if you're watching.
We have this amazing
we have a poster. And we have everyone's signature that is part of the Coffee Club NIL. So we're going to get this framed and put it up in the studio. Thank you guys so much. You're a part of our family now.
Yeah,
and
part of the track club.
And it was a lifetime contract. I read the contract and it said for life. So
a lot of people have been asking if the NIL deals are real, and we can announce that we have signed an NDA with our athletes, so it's mostly confidential. But the signees did receive a shirt and quality time with the team, so that's worth a lifetime of whatever they signed. They signed away. So
well, I think they've signed away. They had to be loyal to Gus and had to give Gus their firstborn child.
Yeah, and mostly. So yeah, I think the Instagram blast the next day or a couple of days later was very successful, as Olli counted 83 posts going out there. So take that, Citrus. Let's see if you guys can if you guys can match that. And there was only a couple of errors apparently. I think.
Okay.
There was I think some people, as George mentioned, like the process. I think some people like changed spots in line or something. So got a little bit out of whack. And then the one funny one is that there was a lad by the name of Zane Powell, and he was mislabeled as an Australian because Tom was using AI to generate the captions, and I guess there's a a member of the Wiggles named Zane Powell or something like that.
And so I thought we signed the Wiggles.
Yeah, I thought we signed an Australian.
That's awesome.
That is. I mean, that's pretty.
I
don't think that's that bad for Zane.
No,
I think he would.
I feel like he wouldn't feel that bad about it.
Yeah,
he'd appreciate it.
Not bad at all.
I want to know.
We signed a couple of Kiwis in the line.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Another Providence Kiwi.
Was it mostly collegiates or
mostly collegiates?
High school as
and
well.
There was some. It was a good mix. I thought.
More, yeah. Honestly, a decent amount of
saw a couple pros.
Yeah,
collegians.
Well, our first NIL signing was Joe Klecker. That's our first NIL.
We set the bar mighty high.
Pretty high with our first NIL. It was pretty huge.
But then we just had a whole team, like half Providence team, Yukon, Penn.
That's so good.
Just like all the teams,
it was pretty amazing.
You'd expect out there.
So good.
It was pretty amazing. I mean, I just want to see what the Sidious crew just going through this, going, what the fuck is Coffee Club doing right now?
Yeah, sadly, none of them were there because they were freaking partying for one of the one of them's getting married. Is Chris getting married?
Chris is getting married, yeah.
They were on their bachelor party, so no one was actually there.
You scheduled during the Penn Relays?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Are you freaking kidding me?
Well,
Chavez?
I mean, it worked out. No, to defend Chiqui
that was probably
Chavez.
an excuse. He didn't want
To defend Chiqui Chavez, if Flowtrack had the rights to it, they probably couldn't do much there.
Sidious
was there.
They had
but
just
the main crew.
They hired little minions to do photos and stuff instead, I think.
Where our minion Avery was not there yet, but we'll have our minion doing our bidding.
Battle of the Minions.
Yeah.
So overall, Friday was good. I mean,
very good. Honestly, very successful, and it was also great because it was next to the on booth. So like a lot of the on people were seeing our actual like, because I think some of them like know, oh yeah, Coffee Club, you know, blah blah blah. But then some of them were actually seeing like the line, like having Jakey Cho walk with his the influencing manager. I think it's Emily. I think her name is. I might have misnamed her, but she was like in charge of influencing, and he was coming over and he was like looking at it and asking what it was. So like we were getting pretty.
So you're saying it's a good look from the brand's perspective?
Well, from the brand's perspective, we just look very successful. We look very successful, and that's mostly not on us. It's mostly on the people that were helping us organize everything and do it all, like Tom and the team. So thank you guys very much because you made us look very, very good to on. Because we definitely look like we were a pretty big organization.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So good.
Philly also just put on a day. Friday was beautiful.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day, to be honest. And I was like, damn, the race is going to be nice tomorrow. And then tomorrow hit.
Woke up on Saturday. Not nice.
Shite.
Isn't it always like that on... Well, at least one of the days. I think there must be some rule that there's like between Friday and Saturday, there's no way both of them can be nice days. That's probably never happened in the history of the Penn Relays.
Yeah.
One is the max. And unfortunately it was... Well, that would have been pretty shit, I guess, if it was like raining during the NIL signing. But I guess, you would have preferred nice weather for the for the race. Sorry.
I mean, honestly, looking back on it, it's just a Penn Relays race. I think having the nice weather there because we had the group one when it was miserable and rainy, and we had a shit go of it last year. Whereas this year we had a good day, and I think that made
things you can rely on at Penn Relays. One of the days, rainy and windy, and Villanova getting a wheel, basically.
Yeah.
Two things that always happen at Penn Relays.
Yeah, there's some exciting racing there, as there always is in these relays.
Every year I'm like, it bums me out a little bit that we never win in college. Just seeing how hype the pro meet is.
Did NAU have a relay back then?
Don't know. Too busy chopping wood.
Too busy collecting water. I mean, Mike probably doesn't see it as much of a challenge.
The pro meet is like gathering some momentum, I think. It's like being a little better each year. But when the relays go, like with the high school, even like the high school boys 4x1. I had
the 4x4.
I had like goosebumps.
Yeah.
Like on the infield, like it's so loud. Like this is like Jamaican high schools, and the
amazing.
crowd freaking loves it.
That's where you
all
realize,
the college relays were epic.
Yeah. That's like what's special about it, you know. That's like it's such an old historic meet. Like that,
Yeah.
those head-to-head matchup. Like take the college one for example. Like those schools, Villanova, Georgetown, whatever. Like they've been going head-to-head in this meet specifically for I don't know how many years. Like
They said
forever.
it was Villanova's 97th wheel.
That's
What do you do
unreal.
with them in your like trophy room?
That's epic. That's so
They're
good.
so big.
Yeah. And
Just
then
a stack of them.
it was shout out to them for sweeping the DMR 4x mile. 4x mile. Poof. How the hell do they run so fast?
Yeah, it was impressive.
All those collegiate teams.
Really, second fastest time ever.
Yeah, was it 50,
Behind the world record.
51 or
Yeah.
52 they ran?
51.
So quick. I mean,
What did you guys run, Ollie?
Uh,
There's definitely a 16 at the front.
what? Me and Morgan in our relay?
nah.
Oh no, I'm thinking of a different one.
Think back 2 years ago or 3.
Oh, that fucking relay. I mean, I think Ben Flanagan, God love him, OnlyFlans. I think he ran a 4:10 first.
But it was like
mile.
tactical. That was the issue.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Yeah, it didn't help.
I also just think like it's just different. Like
Yeah.
it's just a different thing.
It's
But
very
Well,
rare for a team to run
there's
that.
real meaning in the college one.
But it's
Yeah.
very rare for the college
if
one
you
to be
put
fast
meaning in
as
the
well.
pro one, like
Yeah.
you know that Oregon Relays thing was on
Yeah.
when they had
The
the
pacing.
Josh Kerr won the 800 American thing.
Oh.
But they had the relay stuff there as well. It's like, dude, like if you can get all those pros and make meaning out of it, like they do for the college races, it would actually be sick to see like college pro teams race
It
each
would
other
be.
in that way. But it's just like impossible.
It just doesn't work with the way this
Well,
pro side of the sport is set up.
well, if On sponsoring the meet, or if Nike sponsoring meet, they're not gonna like be like, oh, On's gonna send their guys to a Nike meet,
yeah.
or Nike's gonna send their guys to an On meet. It's just that gets into the politics of being a professional athlete. But it is a shame because it would be cool to have the duking it out with the other pro teams because there's some
Mhm.
pretty fast milers now
Mm-hmm.
in most of those teams. You can put some pretty good teams against each other.
Yeah. Now I'm wondering what we did run in college. I bet we ran like
We had really bad conditions, remember, and then it got really tactical near the end with
it
you.
was really tactical.
Because we were quite far behind. I was third, and then I think I got to the lead, and then I gave it to you with Ben Veach, and you had that crazy kick down with him.
Yeah,
It was
a
super
kick down.
windy.
Mhm.
That was we had 2 really bad days of weather. I think
We had the
when
stormy
when we
rain.
did the DMR mile, we had like a 2-hour delay.
Yeah,
when we were
stormed.
under the stadium. We were out on the track, like ready to go, and then under the stadium. Yeah, crazy weather. But
I'm pretty sure these guys, the anchors all split 354, I think.
yeah, I guess that's why they
That's
ran so
insane.
quick.
Even the girls one, seen 2 Kiwi girls just freaking dominating the DMR in Kimberly and Maya.
Mm-hmm.
Maya getting the dub. She's very good at the moment.
Apparently, I'm just looking at the notes now. And shout out to Maya. Apparently, there was heartbreak for Providence. Did you see what happened to their women?
Oh, I did. What race was that? Not
So
DMR.
that-
Was that 4 mile?
So apparently, I didn't see this.
I saw
one.
a video.
So in that DMR, they also broke the record, I guess, but they lost to Harvard. And then in the 4x8, it was them against
4x8.
Washington.
Yeah.
And she got. I watched. I went back and watched it a couple of times. She dropped the baton with like 30,
20 to go,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, and I can't tell. It must have got knocked out of her hand. It's not like you just like drop it, but you couldn't really see like the contact happen. So I was like, it was kind of confusing.
I think it was like a little bit of karma because she tries to cut her off.
yeah. She kind of like
She tries to like push her out into lane 2 or 3 instead of
But I
just
don't know if it
running.
I don't know if it was her fault though.
Well, she was on the inside,
Yeah, but I think the
and the UW girl's like coming around the outside.
I think the UW girl ran into her.
But-
On the curve.
But that's not when she dropped it.
Yeah. Oh, so then you're saying like down the straight, she started going outwards. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yep. That's what happens.
I mean, I feel bad for you, whoever that
Yeah.
is, but
They suck. Our friends,
that's tough.
our friends at Providence, but exciting races though. Very exciting racing, and I mean, clearly they have some amazing squads if they're up there setting records and competing for the win at such a big meet. So, yeah, it's not all doom and gloom, but
There's another big race that day.
yeah, shall we go into
The
the?
Ben Franklin Olympic development.
Is that what it was called?
Wait,
It's
Benjamin Franklin, like on the money?
Is it the same?
It must be.
Did he go to Penn or something? He's on everything at Penn Relays. Like he's like the figurehead.
Really?
I think he's like
is
in
he the
the-
meet director?
Maybe that's it.
Well, I know he's on money.
Yeah.
He's on like the $100 bill.
He's a big deal, isn't he?
Yeah, I
He
can't.
must
Oh
have
yeah,
done
because
something.
you want some Benjamins.
If you want some Benjis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was to be
But
in
I thought that
Franklin
was
Mile.
after Benjamin Eidenschink. I didn't know if it was Benjamin Franklin, but here we are.
Easy to
Yeah,
get
but we had
confused.
the mile. We were very lucky to have George Beamish pace the last 10 meters of the race. No, he was pacing 1200. It was funny though because you're like, Rich was just like going around. He's like, the weather's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. You're gonna do great. And then all of a sudden the weather went really shit, and you could tell that. I think Yared was a little nervous because he hadn't raced in a while. I was a little nervous because like I didn't know how my body was gonna be. Just like because it was a week after being from Australia, had the coffee club thing the day before, and just overall like I was moving as well. So I was very fortunate enough to have a few mates from the team as well as my mum come out and help me move. But moving is always just a stressful thing, and it's definitely not a nice thing to have that before a race anyway. But either way, like go in it the best you can with it. And obviously having Garrett in the race as well was like super nice because he's always going to make it honest or push the pace.
Well, pretty
As I
nice to
thought.
have the world champion pacing as well.
Yeah, and a world champ pacing.
He's really good at pacing too.
I mean, he was what you would literally
Bang
just bang on. You were almost
What was he assigned pace?
50.
57.5. So like
That's not
155.
It's not slow.
So like you were like 253, right? Which is like right on pace.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe it was like half.
252,
I might have been like
253.
half a second off.
Yeah, which is
So-
nothing.
Yeah.
And
I was reasonably pleased with my effort. It was quite hard. It's hard in a mile because the splits are off. So like there's like no split at 200 meters. No one was giving me one. There was a guy gave me a 400 split, I think, but then I didn't hear anything again
was-
for like
it
the
was
rest of the time.
it was also quite windy, so it might have been
Definitely
hard to
felt
hit.
like I was pushing pretty hard
yeah,
into
it's a lot
down
of
like
wind.
back straight and across that curve. But I was like looking back a ton, trying to like figure out what was going on. And at some point I did feel Yared like seemed to slide back a meter or two. But
yeah,
and I thought pacing's always the kind of thing where you're like you want it to feel really easy and it just doesn't quite feel like that.
well, I think Yared had the.
It's always slightly harder than slightly harder than you want
You
it to
always
be.
think that like I've run 343 or I've run 347. Like running 350 should be easy. It's like you
It's
can
the
never
biggest mistake you can make.
you can never approach
Yeah.
it like that. And I like Dathan kind of gave me the pep talk and he's like, "You stay on Yared, you squeeze." So I was like, "Okay, all right, I'll just sit on Yared and." But then I
squeeze him.
forget and squeeze him. But then I forget Yared's also racing. He's not
Yeah.
my pacer, and I was kind of a little bit confused with that because when I watched, I think it was like a lap to go, Yared started falling off the pace,
Right at like 600 to go, I think.
and I'm like, shit.
Which
like,
was the windy stretch. So he was probably
Yeah.
just like, fuck this.
So I was like, oh shit, like I really need to try and go for this time. So I was also about to piss myself because I didn't go to the toilet beforehand. That's kind of sucked.
Mistake.
There's like no bathroom out there.
Yeah,
It's really
which was a
difficult
bit
to go to
annoying
the
because we were out
bathroom.
there for a bit and I was like, damn, I need to go to the bathroom. But
And you're in a speed suit.
and I'm in a speed suit too. It's not great if I was gonna, just start taking a whiz.
Could
But
have just done a wee in your suit.
I could have, but I didn't.
Well, you knew you had to work out afterwards, so that'd be
Yeah,
not-
that kind of sucked. But I overtook Yared and then I tried to go for it. And so you know how like with Penn, it is a 400 meter track if it's in lane 3, but there's lanes 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 is where the rail is. This is how like inept I am at that point in the race. I like went to take it, and then I'm looking up and I'm not paying attention to where my feet are, and I'm seeing the track to there. So I start moving that way, and I hit the rail with 300 to go, and I'm like, oh shit! Luckily I didn't fall over, but I kind of like lost momentum a little bit, and then I'm coming through with 300 to go, and then all I hear is from the announcers like, Eric Holt, here comes Eric Holt. I'm like, holy shit, Eric Holt's still here.
Yeah, he was
And I was like,
coming at
damn,
the
like
end.
we're starting to go, and it was still pretty even like an intense last 200 meters, and then Yared comes around the outside. I was just trying to like hold my form and run through.
Have you
it.
seen the replay of that?
He goes into like lane
He's
2.
literally so wide. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
He
I
goes
was
to line
confused
2.
as to why he was trying so hard to pass like on the curve and stuff. And going out
He
so
must have run
wide.
an extra like 5
Yeah.
meters.
I was confused.
He never told me why he did that, but I think
Maybe he was just trying to give you space.
yeah, I think it was to give me space, but it didn't matter.
yeah.
It was funny.
Because we ran through and it was 3:51.2.
What was the time for this is the Olympic qualified time?
Oh yeah, 3:50.4.
Okay.
But I
yeah.
think On got confused because then they were saying they posted a video of me like walking to the line, and they're like, moments before Ollie Hall gets the Olympic standard.
Oh, they said
I
that.
think
Yeah.
they must have just had that like ready to go. Or
They had it ready to go.
Had
and
it
they posted
scheduled.
it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, the Olympic standard is 350.4, and I was like, oh, this is kind of embarrassing because like
It happens.
I didn't want people to think that I hit the Olympic standard, you know, because I didn't. And
What we realized is it's pretty damn fast. We realized Ollie's run 347, but that's the only time that you've run under that Olympic standard.
I think
like, that's how hard it is.
Yeah, I've run 350.8.
You've run 350 a bunch of times.
Twice indoors. Where I think indoors
Yeah.
is maybe it's not easier, but with the wind and conditions, it might be easier if it's paced well. Just to like to factor out the conditions a little bit. But I mean, I came off the race and I was really pretty angry and pretty upset because I hit the rail and I thought it was just super embarrassing. I was like, oh, like I'm trying to go from the big stand. I can't even fucking run the track. I was just really.
If it helps, I watched the race and I didn't even notice that.
Well, that's good. Cinta noticed. She made sure she told me. You hit the rail? I said, yep, hit the rail.
DQ.
But no, I was pretty pissed off about it. But then I thought, you know what? Like after everything the past couple of weeks, even if not months, I was like, I'm pretty happy with that performance. And if anything, it's a step in the right direction for me because I've only raced. This is my third race back, and you know, it wasn't an easy race. And George paced it really well, and it was a really good opportunity.
And
But-
you held off Holt the Bolt.
And I held off Eric Holt.
He was his last 50 meters. He was coming. He's a good
Got
runner.
Good finish.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
I mean, yeah, he did get fourth at
He's
the
amazing.
trials.
But
But yeah, no, it was a good race.
I think it is a good point that now that the standards are so hard, like you can kind of take them for granted a little bit. You can just like turn up and be like, all right, I'm chasing the standard today. I'm chasing the standard in this race. But to run, 350 or under 333.5, it's not easy to do. So that you do need like a bunch of things to go right. Like you do need like good conditions, good pacing, etc. It's not like back when the standard used to be 335 or 336, and then if you're a 330 runner, like you can just kind of go do that. Because the same with the 5K, like 1305. That's how I feel. I'm like
They don't just hand them out anymore.
as someone who's never run 1305 before, I'm like, fuck, that's hard to run. But even for like the good guys, it's pretty hard to run as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I thought it was pretty damn good in those conditions, running 351.
I mean, hearing
Really good.
from Yared how it was hard for him, I was like, okay, that's comforting
And
to me.
It's 8 seconds slower than his PR.
Yeah, that's
how
comforting to me.
ridiculous is
Yeah.
that?
Because it makes me
Think
feel
about
like,
that.
yeah, we can't. I hate the saying horses for courses, but you can't always judge a time or a race on the. Well, you can't judge a race on the time always, like from the effort or from like how the race is kind of run. So like I had to kind of learn that lesson a little bit and be like, it was a good race for me. I have to like be positive about it.
Just look ahead
What
to
does
the next one.
what does the saying have to do with that?
Horses for courses.
Yeah.
So like certain horses might run faster at certain courses. So
Is
like
that what that means?
yeah, well, some horses perform better at other tracks. So like
Yeah.
the saying is like
No, but
I
how's
might
it-
run faster in Monaco or Oslo, but that's because probably the conditions are always really good pacing, nice.
But
track.
every horse would run faster at Monaco.
Maybe not a Villanova one.
Yeah, it's
Well,
just
they
specifically
peak,
peak for
but
Penn
some-
They
Relays.
peak for Penn Relays.
But I think maybe I misused the saying, but it was more
No,
like
I was just joking.
yeah. But now you're making me question
good
the
saying.
saying that. Yeah,
I'm still caught up on the fact that your race was called the Benjamin Franklin Mile, like because. So that's what it was called.
so it was sponsored by money.
Well, that's what I'm confused about because if a race has a title, that means they're sponsoring it. So is there someone, or maybe they just didn't have a sponsor?
Why
so
didn't
like
they
no,
call
horses-
it's like the Bill Bowerman mile.
But,
Ben
what, but
Franklin
why
mile.
wouldn't they call it?
Yeah.
Okay, see, it's unsponsored, right? Unsponsored meet. I know there's a lot of history with Penn, but they should probably change the Ben. I don't think Ben Franklin has ever run a mile. Maybe he has.
He
but
definitely didn't break 4.
He definitely didn't break 4. He definitely didn't have an American record. Maybe it should just be called the Yared Nagoose
Yeah.
mile. You know?
Do you think there's someone out there like Benjamin Franklin has like some PR agency who's like, oh yeah, we should put his name on this meet. Like we should put his name on this event. Like it'll look good. That's what I'm
Maybe he's
confused.
from
like,
Penn.
like who
Is he
wanted
from
that?
Penn?
Who wanted that?
Ben Franklin must have a good connection to
I'm looking this
Pennsylvania.
up.
Something to do with the state of Pennsylvania or something.
Yeah, it's an old state, isn't it?
It's an old. Isn't the school? Is the school older than America?
Possibly. I don't know.
Probably. Like Harvard and shit, huh?
Yeah, I mean it's Ivy, so they got that shit down. So yeah, some
That was the race. Me and Ollie
It was a great race. You guys
did a
both
workout along the river
did
afterwards.
Honestly, I actually thought the workout was more impressive than the race.
Yeah, you guys had a really big workout.
The workout was good.
5 times a mile and 4 times a minute pushes.
That's quite a bit after a big race.
It was a long day. I got in 18 miles on Saturday.
That's him there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he died in Philadelphia, but he was born on Milk Street,
Milk Street.
Boston. He was a scientist, inventor, statesman, diplomat, printer, publisher,
Yeah, what didn't he
and
do?
political philosopher.
Also
and
a race
also-
sponsor.
Also sponsors the Yarra Goose Mile. Has run 3:42.4.
Wow. Okay, that's fair then.
What is Benjamin Franklin famous for? Defeating Yarra in the Benjamin Franklin Mile.
It makes a lot of sense now why it's named after him.
Yeah, it all works out, eh?
That's cool. But yeah, on that day, we also had a bunch of our other teammates out there getting it done. We had Sage winning I assume her race wasn't sponsored by Benjamin Franklin.
I think it was sponsored by.
Was there a female? Was
No,
there female?
it was
Mrs.
sponsored by
Franklin.
Ulysses Grant. The Ulysses Grant 1500.
Fair enough.
No, but she ran amazing, I thought.
Yeah, got the dub. There was Sinter in the 800. Unfortunately, didn't have her best race, but from my perspective, I think it was really good for her to just come back and get out there on the track after coming back from injury, and I think it still sets her up really well. Just
Rustbuster.
Get the season opened up.
Not even
Yeah.
hit speed work yet. Not even near speed work.
yeah, I think she'll be good. I think it'll be a nice point to just start from, and then just keep progressing. And then Mario did an 800 as well, and he looked pretty good. He had a sneaky. I was very impressed by how he was able to weave on the inside of a lot of people.
He was talking to us about his acceleration and how he's been working with his sprinting stuff. Because you watch him in the back straight, he really has been focusing on that.
You can see it paying
You
off.
can see it paying off. Didn't get the dub, but he was right there
Keep
with a lot of those
seconds, yeah.
guys. So he
Some
did
really
very
good
well.
800 guys. So that was
Yeah.
it. Another year, another pen. Addie Rittenheim announced her NIL, not with Coffee Club, unfortunately.
I have an update with
We
that.
couldn't get her.
She was on the plane near me with Dathan, and I just
Father.
gave her the idea of would you be interested in pursuing a bigger path in your career to maybe joining Profit Club? And she said absolutely.
Did she actually?
She's 100% down. She said if Gus is involved, she's in. So maybe we can work something out. Gus can do an interview with her, but maybe some of our cool stuff coming up. Maybe she can do some advertising for us.
That'd be huge.
But yeah, she ran something really slow, like 9:14 for the
wasn't it?
3K
It was crazy.
I'm pretty
for
sure.
women.
I'm pretty sure that's about how fast I ran that year.
At that age, same. No, I probably ran slower.
I think I ran that in college in freshman year.
Yeah.
9:14.
No, unreal. She's amazing.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Is she still a sophomore?
She's a sophomore, I think.
So,
Still. It's crazy how you're a sophomore for a whole year. It's like her running performances keep getting better, but she
Yeah.
just stays a sophomore.
She stays a sophomore, yeah. I think also the American record in high school for women is from Caitlin Tui, and it's 9:10, so she's not far off it.
yeah.
That's unreal.
So apparently Dathan mentioned she might go to Brooks PR. I think that's a big high school meet, and he's like, "Oh, she's gonna go and crush it.
Go for it. Why not?
Put the screws in."
Man. I mean, we'll see how she keeps progressing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably gonna be running 8:10 by her junior year.
It makes sense.
It
Makes
does.
sense.
It does.
But yeah, I think is there anything else from Penn? Anything else from Philly?
I got a new name for Penn. We can just call it Pencil Relays.
Pencil Relays. I don't mind that at all. The Pencil Relays.
The Pencil Relays.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The Pencil Relays presented by On.
Yeah.
What else did we
We're
get up
looking
to?
Yeah, Philly.
We didn't
Was
get
Philly?
many coffee. The coffee stuff.
We
was-
struggled a little bit.
yeah.
Was it
Mostly
just
because,
business trip?
Once you go to the East Coast, everything in the morning feels really early
So
because
hard.
we lose those 2 hours. So then, and the race was at we're kind of in the middle of the day,
Mm.
so we didn't have a lot of time to just chill at coffee places in
just
the morning.
hustling. Just hustling.
Just business trip.
It was
Strictly
honestly
business.
straight business. And then we struggled to get a reservation because obviously with Penn going on, there's so many people out in restaurants getting food. So luckily for us, Cinta was able to come in clutch for the last night because we were struggling to find a place to eat because everything was booked up. So
You had some good Indian food, I heard.
we did. I got a spicy curry. That was pretty good. It wasn't as spicy as I thought it would be.
Really?
You ordered a Pepsi, but you got Diet Pepsi. That was
Yeah,
sad.
I could tell the difference. How sad is that?
You can tell the difference.
I can tell the difference.
What's the difference?
Well,
I guess
you can
the
tell
sugar
Pepsi.
taste. You can tell, yeah.
Like the sugar's just not there, so it doesn't taste as good.
Yeah, it's just like
It just tastes like
No.
just tastes like an Olipop.
Ollie sits down and is
I was
like,
gonna say Olipop,
I
yeah.
need some sugar. We get a Pepsi. They bring it back. Diet Pepsi, no sugar. It's like,
I should
What
have got a
about
mango lassi, but mango lassi was $7 and it didn't have a refill.
That's expensive.
I wasn't paying.
George's like, I wasn't paying. But then I was like, George, I don't know why I should get a mango lassi. He's like, but you're not paying. And I'm like, oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Well,
Was yummy.
that's another year of Penn down,
Another pencil down.
another pencil relays down, another I think successful trip for the boys, and for the team in general. So
Just back in Boulder for a little bit.
yeah, now we're back here hunkering down. Well, LA is actually not that far away. I
3
guess
weeks
for
away.
us that are
Yeah.
racing that.
Dathan said I'm doing 4 workouts a week now instead of 2. Just to have to catch up, obviously.
Makes sense.
He said I'm
Makes
pretty
sense.
far behind, so
Yeah, but yeah, we'll be here a bit stateside, and then things get rolling towards the end of this month, and then rolling even more the next month, and then rolling even more the month after that, and Olympics. So getting into the thick of it now.
yeah,
cool.
it's gonna get hot and heavy very quickly.
Yeah,
It's all
so
happening.
we'll-
We'll be here once a week.
that's it. So thank you once again, everyone, for listening to episode 135 of the Coffee Club podcast, and we look forward to seeing you all again next week. Bye bye.